Have you seen ever the painting by Hoffman, the rich young man, where Jesus, in the middle of the painting, proposes himself and the path of being given in a very respectful proposal? The rich young man. This is him that I want to discover more with you today. In St. Matthew, I am in the chapter 19. So now someone approached him and said, "Teacher, what good must I do to gain eternal life?" He answered him, "Why do you ask me about the good? There is only one who is good. If you wish to enter into life, keep the commandments." He asked him, "Which ones?" And Jesus replied, "You shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, honor your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All of these I have observed. What do I still lack?" Jesus said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." When the young man heard this statement, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. So I see in this passage there is Jesus bringing the young rich man out of his dungeon. Then at the school of John Paul II, that all path of spiritual life is laid out by Jesus. And lately I have discovered a whole new interpretation of this text, listening to contemporaries, and a path through evangelization that is for evangelization that is given to us in that passage. That man, if you look at the text, he's speaking a lot about himself. What must I do to gain eternal life? And then he feels very secure about himself. All of these I have observed. At the contrary, Jesus is bringing him in the gift of himself. You can see the logic of Jesus. If you want to enter eternal life, if you want to, if you wish to be perfect, why do you ask me about the good? So Jesus brings the other to the reflection about the desire that is in himself, a desire actually that is attracted by somebody else. And you see that Jesus has very strong words to bring him to a discipleship. Go, sell, give, have eternal life. Come, follow me. Jesus bring him out of his dungeon. Now that brings to our memories the way how Pope John Paul II explained spiritual life in Memory and Identity. You remember the stages, classical stages of the purgative, illuminative, and unitive way. So, for example, this young rich man, he didn't commit adultery. So he arrived to, so you can say he has gone through a purgation. Then he has gone through an illumination, because now, so illumination, he sees values. So when he sees Jesus, he sees a person. And even if he's speaking about what he should do, that attraction that he has for the good, it means that he became able to see what is good in person. He is not totally able to define it, like to unite himself to it, like to go after it. But you can see he is already in the value, so he is already in the illuminative, and there is something of the unitive that's not happening for now. But we can see that the seed is already there. And so Pope John Paul II, he explains that this aspect of a spiritual life, there are more aspects than stages. Now, at the same time, here being in North America, and in Canada, in the States, I have been listening a lot Bishop Barron or Ron Petrie, and it gave me new ideas about the explanation of this gospel. You are probably very familiar about the approach to evangelization that Bishop Barron has been explaining in his videos. How we are called to use beauty and truth and what is good. Here in this gospel, you can see Jesus is noticing the good that that young man see, and there is something beautiful in the respect that Jesus has for him, for that personal dialogue, and how Jesus esteem him in his effort, and notice the beauty of the path of the stages that man has already done, and so now when I saw how Ron Petrie commented on that gospel, I was very interested by a passage where Jesus actually is using his encounter to speak about his divinity, but not in a harsh way. It's done with riddle and questions. That look how delicate is the question of Jesus. Why do you ask me about the good? There is only one who is good. So Ron Petrie noticed that for a Jew of that century, the only one that is good is clearly God. So stating that Jesus is good, this young man is already stating that Jesus is God. By asking the question, Jesus is not being harsh on him, but he is calling to his conscience to be coherent with his convictions and reflections and with his words, and appealing to the deeper in that man. So I see that he has there. He is giving us also an interesting path for evangelization, to present Jesus with questions and riddles, with actually with love, with care, with respect of the person, of their intelligence. People are intelligent, and that young man, that rich young man, is intelligent, and Jesus called to his intelligence and his sense of what is good and what is beautiful. And in Regnum Christi, we have received a beautiful gift in that sense. You know that that going out, that gathering people, revealing them the heart of Jesus, and then sending, accompanying people in the mission. That is a beautiful way to propose Jesus. And for many, it will be a way like Jesus touched them with questions and riddles, with that delicacy that is his in the way to present the kingdom.